So Connected Transport Conference 1.0 is the first of its kind to be held in India, and I'm sure there will be many more to go in the coming years, and we get an opportunity to witness all of these. The Connected Transport Conference is organized by Auto Nebula, Exhibitions India. Our media partners are Autotech Review, AutoX, Your Story, Be Live. Our knowledge partners are Cyber Media, Markets and Markets. Our strategic partners are Ruby, Research and Analytics. Our platform partners are Willy. Our ecosystem partner is TIE. And our sponsor is Bosch and Tata Teleservices. Moving on. Our next speaker is Mr. Kamal Bali, Managing Director, Volvo India. With a career spanning over 3 decades, predominantly in the automotive and CE industry, Mr. Bali joined Volvo Group India in April 2014 as a board member and managing director. He has also worked as the president and CEO of companies like Liboy India and Scott Construction Equipment. Can you please call Mr. Kamal Bali on stage to give the keynote address on the topic Smart Buses Inside Smart Cities? Thank you.
Thank you, Auto Nebula and Exhibition India for having me this morning in this very important conference, so to say. And I think it's the first edition. It will grow in shape, form, and attendance and presence as we go along. What I'm going to do over the next 10 minutes is going to speak about the role of connected buses in smart public transportation. So I think that's something very, very crucial, especially in India, and I think we will share some of the perspectives as we see it. As Scott very, very correctly pointed out, the future of connected vehicles and how it affects all sectors, including buses, is exciting. It does fuel a lot of thought, innovations, and imagination. This is indeed great because with the digitalization of the world, which we're going to see, things are going to be very, very different over time. The future may well see automotive OEMs like us and vehicle manufacturers like telecommunication providers. Bus stops may shift into malls. They may no more be where you see them today. And drivers may start operating like sales managers. While much is visualized on this front when it comes to cars, it is equally true for commercial vehicles such as buses. One, because setting up of mass transit systems with buses will always be easier and a fraction of the cost what we pay for a metro rail. And it is much more flexible to adapt to a city. Further, buses will and play an additional role for the last mile connectivity. Also, while metro trains and buses will coexist in large cities, it is possible that buses alone may be the mass transit provider for the tier 2 cities and towns. Consider Curitiba in Brazil, the original BRT story where Volvo buses operate. It transfers passengers equal to the New York subway today. As the future brings in hybrid and electric buses, which Volvo is working on, and we have launched hybrid and electric buses whole of Europe, in fact, very, very successful, over 5,000 buses. We see new circumstances being created that would change the way we see and operate buses. And this is going to be a paradigm shift once you have completely electric and hybrid buses. Let's look at the close purpose and the drivers of this whole change. So how will connected buses play a role into the future of smart transportation? The answer in some parts is quite obvious, while in many other ways it could change the idea of city mobility. It could totally transform the idea of city mobility. Either ways, the driving forces are compelling, and connected buses and public transport has enormous abilities to pay back in economic parameters, improvement in city mobility, and its positive impact on the quality of life, including safety levels, and of course the ability to lower local and global emissions, which is really we have a lot of discussion and talk is going about that, and that's really one of the key considerations. Finally, and most certainly, public transport, including buses, is the only way to build an equitable future in cities, especially when 60% of India is going to live in cities in not so distant future ahead. I think that's another paradigm shift which is happening, of a large transformation from rural areas to urban areas. So I think that is driver for this. The concept and idea of connected buses started with a simple proposition. Basically to get the four actors in this space together: the vehicle, the driver, the passenger and the fleet operator. However, as we have seen in the last few years, with the evolution of new possibilities in the digital world, there are many more stakeholders who are entering. The traffic system, the police, then the marketeers, and with advertisements for captive audience inside and outside the bus, the regulators, and of course links to emergency services like hospitals and other vehicles. And finally also the other players such as other modes of transport, the metro trains, the taxis and personal vehicles too. So a large world is coming together in this arena. But it probably does not stop here. With smart cities having a city-wide perspective and with the advent of big data, this means looping the transport arena into the overall back-end system. And here we of course need to ensure that systems can talk, and there will be additional concerns of data privacy. I think this is one burning topic which we have to deal with, and data protection on several counts. However, before we move forward into this completely integrated, multimodal, multiplayer, multi-purpose connected world, it would be good to get a quick understanding on the current issues, current realities, and what are the imperatives going forward. So I will talk about 10 of these in a very quick time. So first is standards and regulations. I think this is something very critical. As is often the case in India, buses have witnessed increased level of connectivity following the recent JNUMR program. However, this is standardized to the level of onboard systems only. It still does not standardize itself with various back-end options at the fleet management and traffic control end. This needs to change. We need clear and predictable standards and regulations in this area. And if we are going to live in a world of true smart cities where everything is connected, these standards need to be part of a holistic standard for the entire transport arena in a city, public and private. We can leapfrog for sure, but there is a clear intent and action required ahead, some of which is already in discussions among associations, technical committees and the ministry. It's also important that if we want to make full use of technology into the future, we cannot be isolated from the globe. The need to harmonize with international standards is valuable for both local and global players. If this is done, then we have no limit to the number of players ready to deliver. Of course, in a country as large as diverse as this, ours, we will have to deal with solutions from very basic level to very complex, from very immature to very mature, and we need to be able to discern through all this, and that is something very critical for India. So right now, when we think of connected vehicles, we have to still build upon basic services of vehicle management, fleet management and traffic management. The second point is how the world of smart transport solutions with buses could be. When it comes to smart transportation, it could of course be a world of opportunities which cater to a range of needs of citizens who may be business people, students, young, old, specially abled, men, women, local, tourists and others. We need to ensure that they make public transport as their first choice as against private vehicles. I think that is the biggest challenge. How do we get these people to travel by public transport? If we simply move people who are already using buses and leave the rest to their personal vehicles, our cities are not going to be sustainable. And that is what we are seeing in city after city, whether it's Bangalore or it's Mumbai or it's Delhi. We are facing the same challenge in every city. And what are these users of public transport seeking when they make their choice of travel? Typically, their need is speed of transfer, comfort, safety and predictability. To this I may add self-image, considering that for long we have treated buses as a lower class of travel, and that's a mindset which we have. But that mindset certainly has to change. A developed country is not a place where poor, I think this is a very important statement made by one gentleman by the name Gustavo Petro. He says a developed country is not a place where poor have cars. It is a place where rich use public transportation. And I think that is very clear. Once we can reach that parameter, that understanding, I think that is where we are. Number 3, single point governance for public transportation. I think this is very important. When citizens travel by public transport, they need to see it as one single system: the train, the taxi, the bus. A system that integrates in terms of scheduling, ticketing, and accessibility is very essential. So typically one single smart ticket is necessary, as also is traffic management scheduling between all modes of transport. And this will happen if one single body governs the entire process. You can't have fragmented organization, fragmented governance. That will not work. In fact, it must include private vehicles, which could well be part of the chain of travel, and hence common transport points, which include car parking, bus stop, train stop, taxi stop, cycle stands, would be essential. And this of course leads to the obvious that these points with the kind of traffic are a gold mine for marketers of all kind. On a busy day, a citizen could be able to travel, shop, engage with all public utilities in one single go. So that's the third point which I wanted to make. The fourth is buses need to be integrated by design and find a higher status in city plan. I think this is again a very important issue. To ensure that buses integrated mass transit systems, we need to ensure speed and predictability. We need BRT systems, we need special lanes, we need integrated infrastructure in terms of lane prioritization, traffic light prioritization, bus stop design, and ticketing. We have been rather unfair to bus systems in the past. We can accept uprooting of the city land for building roads and metros without much question. But when buses need lanes or operated, there is too much debate and too much noise about the cost and returns. I think this is something which needs to change. And when actually the cost involved is much lower than doing a metro. I think India must realize that the solution for India, long-term solution in tier 2, tier 3 towns is not the metro, it is the bus. And that is what is much cheaper and faster to be able to implement. That's because it's important that connected buses are coupled with necessary infrastructure. That is critical, of course, if we really want to give it the right meaning and the right pull. Fifth, public transport needs to be adapted to lifestyles and convenience. I think this is another imperative. As we move forward, we see connectivity would mean that if you need a bus, you don't need to be at the bus stop. You could be shopping in a mall. The malls will have schedules operating inside a digital screen, a plus for marketers too. This will allow greater time for consumers in the shop. And to motivate this further, one would buy tickets right in the shop itself. In fact, it can easily expect even a pawn shop going forward to carry schedules and issue tickets. I think it's not a big deal. I think that is the level where we want to reach. I want to just share with you an example of Route 55 in Gothenburg in Sweden, where we have just launched electric bus. This has gone one step, we have gone one step forward, taking the path to electromobility. What we have done in Gothenburg today, when we operate these electric buses, one of the bus stops is inside a library. So one bus stop is inside a library because the bus has zero emissions, zero noise. And the fact that electric and hybrid buses can have zero emissions and zero noise has led to another innovation in the form of zone management. So when these buses operate in indoor terminals, they are always in the electric mode with no noise. When they enter school areas, they go into safety mode and speeds are limited. And when these buses go into residential areas, the noise is turned to zero. It becomes silent zones. And this is achieved through telematics and remote mapping. So it's all mapped initially. So when you go to different areas, they're zoned and you manage like that. Number 6, mass transit and emergency preparation. I think this is another critical imperative. Connected vehicles, public transport, and of course buses will play a role, whether it's before and after an event. Connected vehicles means ability to quickly spot issues and respond, or to warn other vehicles simultaneously. At the same time, connected public transport means quicker rescheduling of vehicles depending upon the problem. So I think it's very quick. If there is a breakdown, you can quickly go to another one. 7, savings and revenues. Then we have typical interfitment section, which is valuable when many citizens spending increasing hours in commuting. It is also a key revenue generator for the city. That can be a key in ensuring higher viability of the services. Connected vehicles, even at the basic telematic level, will pay back if implemented well. The first and immediate saving for fleet operators in fuel. The ability to schedule buses automatically as per passenger traffic flow, the ability to monitor speeds, idling times and optimize bus stops has an immediate bearing on the fuel consumed. Added to this is the ability to the coach drivers through telematics. You can coach the drivers as to how to really drive. Fuel is further saved by understanding routes over time of the day, the days, the weeks, the months. Understanding route means ability to optimize schedules. We have done a dipstick which shows tremendous amount of savings which each bus can result. Number 8. Number 8 is very important. There's a very important caveat to all this. Information and connectivity is of no use if we cannot influence our circumstances. And I think this is very, very important for India. This is one area where we need to be very careful. All information and support we get from connected vehicles may be wasted if we do not understand our own operations, and most importantly, if we cannot influence our abilities and resources, drivers, logistics, route schedules. For instance, if we get inputs on driver behavior, but we cannot influence drivers, it's a waste. If we get inputs on route optimization opportunities, but we are unable to change routes due to political reasons, the information is wasted. If we get information around traffic peaks and troughs, but cannot realign our ticketing prices or adjust buses deployed, it's a waste again. If we get information on bus stop optimization but are not empowered to influence the municipality, the information is wasted. I think it's very important that we do not live with the circumstances which we have been used to living. We got to change our circumstances and we got to make that change. That's very, very important. Hence, smart transportation seeks integration not only at data level but also at governance level. Number 9, need to calculate economic viability of this transportation system at city level and not just at fleet level. This is very, very important because the kind of good is going to do to the society, to the city in terms of zero emissions, in terms of reduced cost, in terms of reduced fuel. So I think it's very, very important. Last, thinking about connected vehicles in the longer future, one cannot but delve into the aspect of automated buses and trucks. And that's the next thing happening. We're talking about autonomous trucks and autonomous buses coming in. We've already tested at Volvo. Now we are waiting for the legislation. We are still ahead of the legislation, but that's a big, big challenge as to how do we introduce, because there are so many challenges today in that. These are ideas which probably will be deployed first by those who have fixed trips, destinations and schedules. And this means taxi operators and buses are probably key candidates ahead. There is much happening on this front, though it may be just some time away. But many a country are seriously working towards this, and it's just a matter of time when automated vehicles are on road, not if or not. Of course, legislation has to catch up. The other aspect of smart transportation will be the demands of city-wide smart operations, of which transport arena is one area. The faster we set standards and regulations here, the quicker we can expect integration and associated returns to the city. Having said that, we now should expedite the necessary standardization and demands right now, so that we realize the boons of connected, smart world sooner than later and make our world much more inclusive and livable. Thank you very much.